Well, hello, hello. This is a new episode of Dance Jams, and while the clock is ticking down, I'm going to introduce you to the topic of today: what stops you to start dancing? And of course, we won't start not only dancing with this podcast without, of course, inviting my good friend and colleague Ton Greten. Ton, are you there? Yes, you are on mute, Ton.
Sorry, Sean.
That's
Nice
okay.
to see you
Nice
and
to see you too.
nice to hear you.
Yeah, what stops you to start dancing? That's the title of today, and that's something I came up with. What do you think about that?
Yeah, fantastic topic because you and we started also somewhere to dance
Hmm.
because we are dancers and teachers and coaches, etc. But there is a time when we started also. And I know my first time when I started, and my mom said, "This is for your life. So this is very important for your education, for your life education." And I said, okay, I will start it. And after 6 weeks, 5 weeks, six, I have the dance virus. So I'm infected by the dance virus, yes. And I have it, and I developed a lot from then. I was in 1981, I think. Yeah.
Wow, that's so long ago. Let me not start to think about when I started to dance. It is too long ago. Yeah, but we all needed to start, and we all have different reasons to start. Now, clearly, Ton and I started to dance, and never regretted, to be honest. But there is, maybe I regret that I didn't start earlier, which we also hear. But the question of today is, why is it that some people maybe want to dance, but they just are afraid to start dancing? And it could be various things in there that we do, and so we're going to explore a couple of things, right? And sometimes it is, if you know Dance Jams, we and you follow us, then you know that we do the same topic in two languages, one in Dutch, which is our own language, and the other one is in English. And strangely enough, it's not exactly the same podcast. So if you know two languages, I would definitely stimulate you to listen to both, because that's kind of funny. But one of the things that Tom talked about yesterday is there are definitely social barriers why some people, are a little bit afraid to dancing. In some social circles, it's just not done for guys to dance. That's where I want to start up. Tom, what do you think about that?
Yes, that this is correct, Sean. It's something from the culture, what you get
Yeah.
from your environment, and people say it's for gay people, but actually, the ballet in 19, no, not 19, in 1500, about 1500,
Yeah.
the men were only dancing, and the women started actually much more later, I think 1700, 1800, something like that,
Something
with
like that. Yeah.
ballet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is quite later. And also the teachers, only men teach before. That is also strange. Now it's not possible anymore, and but at that time, yes, it was. And when you reflect the ballet dancing and the social dancing 100 year uh, backwards from now, that was totally different than now. So everything changed. Also now it changed through TikTok, through Fortnite, the social media. YouTube is also social media, but you can see so much of dancing. And also, if you want to learn dancing, and this is our subject, this is you can find everything on mostly on YouTube. The beginners lessons, all kind of dance forms you can discover, and I would recommend to watch first to this one, and then try to find a school um, in the neighborhood. and then try to start with it, and or take first contact. That would be fine, and look for a professional. This will help absolutely, because most of them have a lot of experience and can help you through the first afraidness of I don't have a rhythm, I cannot dance, etc. So, what would be your reaction, Sean, when somebody comes into your studio and would say that to you?
Yeah. Well, of course, when they already come to our or my studio, then they already took that first barrier to come to the studio, which is great. But I always am very, aware that someone is coming for the first time to a class. Often it's a class, sometimes it's first time, and immediately start with private lessons. We can talk about that too. But in the class, I'm very aware that I can see they just want to scoop out what's going on. And then one of the things that they start with is always to say, I cannot dance, I have no rhythm, or my husband or my partner has no rhythm. So I honestly don't know why people do that to themselves, why they downplay themselves, but it's what it is. But to be honest, and let's take that thing that's probably one of the most hurt things, I have no rhythm or my husband has no rhythm. There's actually no such thing. There's no such thing as you have no rhythm, because your heart has a rhythm, your breathing has a rhythm. Your whole life is actually a string of rhythms. Whole life, the whole universe is a string of rhythms if you think about it. So that we
Mhm.
don't have it. And but I know what they mean, right? They typically feel that they cannot hear what other people use as a rhythm to dance on. Hmm?
Yes,
No one
I
says
th-
that they, yeah.
mm, yeah.
No one
I
says that
think
is
what
your
I
rhythm.
know, I
Yeah.
know what they want to say, Sean. Sorry that I interrupt you. Um, Probably they want to say, I'm stuck in my body.
Oh, yeah, they could be. I think there's an inhibition in daring to let go. Remember, I was telling you yesterday about a class that I did, and I said, "Can you please dance on what you hear and not what you know?" And I think there is a little bit of the answer in that people believe that they have to know something to dance, and so typically my dance lessons classes always start. What do you hear? Right? It could also start with just loosening up the body, just not even thinking about music, just, be a little bit more free in your body and make, what people might think as crazy movements. For you and I, are they just movements? There is no judgment over movement, right? So
Yes.
these factors, I think, with official dance studios, different than yours, by the way, but in most official dance studios, I think they believe they have some sort of a picture in their mind that they need to fit in. And of course, they cannot fit in that picture yet because they just come to the first dance lesson, right? And that's, I think, what they mean when they say, I have no rhythm. That's
Yes.
what I think. What do you think?
Yes, correct, Sean. And also, they forget they have a daily rhythm. And if they would listen to that one and
Hmm. Hmm.
rhythm of breathing, of the
Hmm.
heart, of when they would listen to it and bring that back to the body and be more relaxed and released,
Hmm.
then it would help you to pick it more faster. I would say that you could enter the dance lesson, and it makes you not so afraid to start. So it's important not to have, how you say that, I forgot the English word, the expectation. You have some expectations from it, and you said the same
Yeah.
1 minute ago, Sean, and forget this expectation. Let it come over you, and try and listen to the advice of the teacher,
Yeah.
and even what I know from the history is when you have 5 or 6 weeks and you are in the lesson 5 6 weeks, after that it will work. It's the same with skiing. If you have the first time ski lessons, don't think you can go off the mountain. Yeah, you can go off the
Yeah,
mountain after
it's
one lesson.
gravity, Todd. It's
It's
gonna
gravity. So that would be nice. But if you
but yeah,
want to feel safe, then
yeah.
you need a few lessons.
I need
And
a few
after
lessons.
the few lessons,
Yeah.
you will
Mm.
probably like it. And it's the same with running.
Yeah.
If you start with running and you want to do a 5K and
Yeah.
you go like crazy, of course you will not like it after it because everything will hurt you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do it with small steps,
Steps.
and
Yeah.
yes, and not
Yeah.
too big steps and have so many expectations from it. So go free in it, and everybody can learn dancing, salsa, bachata, a waltz, English waltz, a slow fox, a samba, a cha-cha-cha, hip hop, everything you can learn because these are defined dances and they have normally a method for it to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. And you can orientate yourself already. What do you think at the first that you think you like? Some people come in and they like salsa, and then they get exposed to the other dances and they think, oh, I like West Coast swing more, which is great. I mean, you don't have to do that to studio like ours. I'm not going to make commercial for it, but we offer so many different dances and we stimulate actually people to explore all the other dances. And then some people get, I don't want to say stuck, but they have a preference maybe for one style only. That's good too. Other people say, no, I am more like I want to do everything. That's also great, right? Do what you do. But there's one thing what you said, which I often use in definitely my mental coaching is due to social media. We have a little bit of belief now that we have to be good at everything we do, but actually it serves you well in life and also in dancing is that you get used to suck at everything that you start doing. Everything that you start doing in the beginning, you probably will be bad. And that is really okay. Actually, there's a lot of fun in understanding that is. And if you look back at where you started, even if you look back at Tons and me first podcast, you think like maybe you guys still think that we're bad at it. Who knows, right? But who knows? But that's what it is. We have to accept that. But it's that shame that sometimes come up that stops us from doing the things that we actually would love to do. So
Yes,
at the
correct,
big
Sean.
that's a little bit what it is. So sometimes you have, and this is not a comment, guys. This is just Tons in my opinion, and sometimes not even. If you're a dance teacher and you have a beginners class, um, it's not about you. You don't have to show off how well you can dance. Actually, that doesn't help people. It makes them a little bit afraid. Now, maybe at the end of the class, you could maybe do a little bit of demo how you maybe in the future can see how this dance can be. But if you constantly show how well you can move, right, it actually make the other people believe like, wow, yeah, well, this guy is doing this 30 years. If I had to do it 30 years before I get to that, you know, I'm not doing
Mhm.
it. So meet them a little bit closer to where they are. That would be a little bit my advice. You need to do your style, but that's a little bit my advice. It's always good on the other side to start with a beginner's class. You might have had a few classes, maybe in another studio. Just start with a beginner's class again. If you go fast enough, your teacher will say, hey, why don't you join us in the other class? Because you're already
Yes,
good.
correct.
So all these things you can set up yourself, be relaxed in it, because most people start dancing first and foremost to have fun, right? Not to
Mhm.
get the fear in you. Um, there is also some more serious problems that people have, Ton, and I would like to hear your opinion about it. Is some people believe that their body is not good enough. They are feel that they're too short, too tall, too blonde, too Asian, too Chinese, too black, too fat, too thin, whatever comes up, right?
Too old,
Too
too
old.
too young,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah,
Yes,
whatever that, and
correct,
that,
Sean.
yeah, that's not only a cultural social difference, but that could also be in you. Like, oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's already in you.
yeah,
If you have this thought, it's already in you. It's a
yeah,
manifestation of um, that you think that your body is not good enough, but the mind is actually feeding this.
Yes.
but it's not correct because everybody
Can
can
that?
learn to dance and everybody can already dance,
Yep.
but learn to dance in the form
Mm-hmm.
of the steps of a salsa or a west coast swing or hip hop or a cha cha. These are more defined steps, and of course you will get guidance from your teacher and they will help you. And you said one thing, and this is the most important. If you do a podcast, you do running, you do skiing or dancing, have fun. That's the most important, and enjoy the moment in your life. And it brings more positive things. Your social life will improve, absolutely. Even when you move in dancing, the positive is you use left and right of your brain, and your proprioception is a very expensive word, but your body awareness of left and right, you will improve it. Even the how is that doorbloeding? I don't know how you call this in English.
Yeah,
In your
just
head,
yeah,
the
just blood flow.
the
If you
blood
wanna,
flow.
yeah.
Yes, that will improve the blood flow in your head. And this is very, very important because if you want to get older, it's very, very important to move. Doesn't matter if you walk, if you do your housekeeping, or you're running, or you're dancing. And the dancing is, of course, something beautiful what you can do together with your partner, man man or man woman, doesn't matter now in 2023 actually. But yeah, it has so many positive things.
Oh yeah, no, it's incredible. If you follow John and Tom in the podcast, then we try at least, in all modesty, to extend our dance knowledge and the knowledge about the body a little bit beyond just regular dancing. And in my case, it has to do with people with traumatic experience. And so we often talk about the connection of the body and the mind. And it's also that same belief that there is a connection between the body and the mind. And just follow me very closely when I say this. There is a belief that there is a connection. If you believe there's a connection, then there should also be a disconnection. And that has become a normal way of saying things. If you listen very closely to Ton and me, then you hear us talking that the body and mind are actually one. Sometimes we need to separate them to talk about it, but there is one. That it's not there is, but believing that there are two things has separated us in this world for believing that we know things, but we cannot move with our body anymore.
Mm.
And that's one of the big benefits I think you can get from dancing, to feel that, oh yeah, the body and mind is actually one influences the other one immediately. You make yourself more free in your body, you get more free in your mind. You get more free in your mind, you get more free in your body. There is a one-on-one actually there is no connection because it's one. And if there's one,
Mhm.
there is no connection. Does that make sense? So that's what I do. But it's at the same time, some reason why people don't dare to go to a dance lesson, Tom, is because,
Yeah.
I'm sitting the whole day in the office, so my body is disconnected from my mind. They already believe that. And because of that false belief, they don't want to do things like dance lessons or running or other exercises.
Yes, it's very, very good for your health, for everything. It's very good. So, and be the advice what I could give: be
Hmm.
patient and take
Yeah,
it step by step, small steps. And at the end, if after 5 6 weeks,
yeah,
you will really enjoy it. I'm sure of it
yeah, yeah. I
because
think it has to do.
it's something new. But if you are on a dance school and the teacher will help you and give you also the attention what you need, then it's absolutely fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely fun, and I think that's a good thing to say because another reason why people don't start to dance anymore. is sometimes they had a very bad experience in the past, and the rules. And if you're as old as Ton and I are, yeah, you there were some weird dance studios where there was a pure segregation. Men do this and women do that. So we had all that, and it could have been badly influence you. But you will notice now, if you haven't been in a dance studio lately, that most dance studios are, are very open ways of looking at things. We actually, I think we're very most of the open place. So you could have negative experience. Maybe you had a bad dance teacher or bad dance partner. But as with everything in life, your first experience does not, equate that everything should be like that, right? So if you went to a restaurant, let's say a Chinese restaurant, and the food didn't taste well, that doesn't mean that all Chinese restaurants are bad. Does that make sense? But we sometimes stay with that. Like, oh yeah, I went once to Spain and there was a horrible country. Or that now you had one bad event and that was a horrible experience. So it's maybe a little bit of a mental push from our side to try it again. If you have it in your mind as a question, you probably want it. Yesterday we had a pretty serious discussion also about there could be economical reasons, Ton, why some people don't go to dance. Money. They think that
Yeah.
dancing is expensive to some extent. That is maybe true, but what can we say to that if we want to help people?
No, I think you can dance always if you have internet, or you can somewhere on the internet and you can watch to the dancing there.
Mm-hmm.
There are beginners lessons on it on a YouTube channel. You can
Yeah.
find everything about every dance form. You can find that. So actually take some lessons there and start with it very slowly. And of course, if you go to a dance school, you have your social contact. And if you and it if when it would be too expensive, you can actually do first lesson. The most lessons are free in the beginning, so you can try to take one or two lessons, and you not have to pay for it, and then you can look if you can afford it. And there are differences also in studios. The one studio asked for 6 lessons $75, and another studio asked $50, and another studio asked $20. So there is a difference in the
Yeah.
studios. So they have not everywhere the same price.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. By no means do we want to pretend that we can look in your wallet, as we say in Dutch, right? So that we know how much money you can and cannot spend. But again, if you already have that question and you have a little bit afraid to do your first thing, that could be one of the things. And I don't want to say it's an excuse, but there are many ways to find it. A lot of studios in the U.S. I teach primarily in the U.S. We have a lot of starter things like Groupon, where you can basically get almost one or two lessons completely for free. So that's one way to do, at least get to know it. The other thing is also see the relative. If it's important for you, see on what things you can spend your money different, so that you can experience a good dance lesson. Yeah, starting on YouTube is definitely one of them. And don't fall in that trap of it is too expensive. If that's what you want, you probably will find a way. And then if there are, I know that from the Netherlands specifically, for some people the health benefits for dancing are so big that actually they can get reimbursed or partly reimbursed through insurance. So I would look at that as well. If you're super healthy, you just do it for fun, no chance. But if it's for
Even
other
that,
reasons,
yeah,
yeah.
correct, Sean. And even the children in our city, in the south of the Netherlands,
Yeah.
but also the whole Netherlands,
Mhm.
if you not have enough income, the city will help you to pay that.
Fantastic.
And yes,
Fantastic.
and
Yeah.
because it's important
Yeah.
that they have the social contact and that they can still dance. So I'm quite proud of our country that
Yep.
they
Do
uh,
that. Yeah,
can
that's
they do that also for the sport, not only for the dancing.
yeah,
And this is really fantastic.
that's
But
fantastic way.
also, when you have the money and you go to the dance school and you do the lessons, in our studio we have like 3 or 4 events a year, like a Christmas event, a disco fox event, a salsa event, So that's really nice because you get 2 or 3 months lessons in that one, and then you go with your friends and you go to it. If they're not held lessons, you can ask, um, or you learn it. You learn them what you learned, and they can still dance, or
Yeah.
you take some extra lessons together, and then you go to the beautiful evening of a Christmas ball,
Nice. Nice.
and then you are together, you eat a little
Mm.
bit, you speak, you have nice music, and your social contact will improve a lot because you are together with your friends. And what is the
Cool.
most beautiful to have a
Yeah.
beautiful evening together and enjoy that one.
Yeah, you're a good salesman, Ton.
Mm.
Yeah, no, no, no. And but I think the overarching message in this is, if you only look at, hey, I pay for an hour of dance lessons and this is what I get back, that might not be a good value for you, right? But if you think about what all the other things you get through it, right? I mean, if you only would say the health benefits, it's actually a really cheap way to stay healthy if you think about it like that. So that's one thing. And then if it comes to social activities, there are tons of people actually in our studio, Ton, that their main reason is to meet people. Now, of course, you can take a fancy, partner consultancy firm or you go online, but this is kind of a fun way to meet people. So if you look at the money in a slightly different way, and again, I cannot look, we don't know what your money is, of course, but there is a way to what we call reframing your thoughts around it slightly different. You go, oh yeah, actually I get so much more. I get social activity, I get new friends maybe, or maybe even a new partner, I get health benefits. If you think about it, then maybe we are the cheapest industry that you can, that you can. But there are story out there, that dancing is expensive, and we mostly talk about competitive dancing. I have one story to tell about that, and I have a new student, and she stopped a little bit for with dancing because her husband was jealous because she would dance with handsome guys like me. And then she said to her husband, "Hey, you either have an unhappy wife or a happy wife. And if you want a happy wife, you pay my dance lessons." So that's how she worked around that topic. See, he wanted to clearly have a happy wife. So paid for her dance lessons. Anyhow, that's a little bit of a joke, but it's a little bit also, the happiness was one of the things. Yeah, that's a little bit, what we want to talk about today is, what are the barriers, or what stops you for taking a dance lesson. I think Ton and I say, don't let anything stop you to take a dance lesson. And then after the first 3 4 lessons, you will enjoy it so much. Tons has 5 or 6 maybe. Okay, let's then make an agreement with yourself. Whatever happens, I'm going to do it at least for 6 weeks, and then I'll make a decision. Because these little angst and anxieties, they will come up in the first lesson. They might even become bigger, because there are mirrors around us and there are people around you that, yeah, they had a few more lessons. So go work to it with the 5 6 weeks. I always say that. And then suddenly you get that dance virus. You're on mute on.
Sean, this
Yes.
is with everything like that. If
Yep.
you run the first time, everything will hurt, of course. So run slowly. Then you have less pain. So when you run the second time, you still have pain because you never did it. So with the dancing, it's the same. And if I learn skiing, after one lesson, it will not say I can ski. No, it's technically you learn that, and after a few lessons, after a week,
Yeah,
because you have
you can do
everyday
it.
lessons, then you can slowly get from that mountain
Yeah,
after.
you can. But
Yes.
yeah. But I also notice it's a little bit character based, right? I am, if I'm a little bit enthusiastic in everything I do, so I immediately jump in everything full, you know, you know, full in it, and that hurts sometimes. If you put me on skis and I'm on there for 2 hours, I think I can take the black piece there, that thing. So I have that in
Mhm.
me. Other people are completely on the flip side, and you just need to warm up, and it takes a long time before they get warmed up. So if you go to dance lesson, try to also understand a little bit your own character, right? I
Mm.
would immediately do it, and that of course you get big disasters because I overestimate my own abilities always. But it's just my enthusiastic character, and nothing wrong with it. Other people are a little bit more careful with character, and they just need to warm up to things. And so know your own character about that as well. Other people are very skeptical. Not sure if this is the right teacher for me. Okay, that's okay. you know, that's all fine. Know your own character helps you a lot too in doing these things for the first time. Anyhow,
Mm.
I think that was it for today, Tom. Thank you
Yes,
for
sure.
talking to me about this. Uh, we'll be back soon, of course, with the dance jams and have a new topic for you. We don't know what it is yet. But if you have an idea, by the way, as dear listeners and viewers of our podcast, and you would like us to talk about something, then by all means, you can find us on social media. Just send us a message, and then we'll talk about that as well. All right, as long as it has something to do with dance, obviously, right? Okay, Tom. Having said that, it was a pleasure as always seeing you here on the podcast of the Dance Jams. I hope to see you back real soon. I already say bye bye. Maybe you want to say bye bye too.
Yes, I want also to say bye bye and dance every day a small dance. You will get more happy.
Oh, that's so beautiful. All right, you people will see you next time. I'll start the music and then we'll say bye.
Bye bye.